Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Klamath Falls Falcons Baseball on 104.3 960 Sports and on MyBasin.com. The Falcons road trip continues today in the Emerald City of Eugene, Oregon, as we come to you live from Sweet Johnson Stadium at Gary Selby Field, home of the North Eugene Highlanders and the Eugene Ole Athletics, as they host the Klamath Falls Falcons. My name is Josh Eldridge. Glad to be along with you today. The Falcons are 11-1 entering play today. Eugene is 4-6 on the season, but for the Falcons, coming off their best offensive output of the season and in the last calendar year, a 22-1 win against the Philomath Fighting Jays last night in Philomath, and the Falcons looking to extend their winning streak again today to 8 consecutive ball games. We're going to step aside here for 2 minutes as we get ready for first pitch. Starting lineups just around the corner, and Falcons baseball underway next on MyBasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Josh Eldridge back along with you here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on MyBasin.com as we near ready for first pitch between the Falcons and the Oles today from Sweet Johnson Stadium. Let's go ahead and introduce you to today's starting lineups, and we'll start with our visitors today, the Klamath Falls Falcons. Leading off for Klamath Falls this afternoon, the shortstop, Carson Sims. Jacoby Takini bats second. He's the catcher. First baseman Ian Meyer hits third. Corbin Hamilton bats fourth. He's in left field. The designated hitter, Jacoby Nickerson, batting fifth. Hitting sixth is P.J. Safford, the third baseman. Trustin Thomas is in right field, hitting seventh. Ty Teeters bats eighth at second base. And Harley Hoblet is in center field, batting ninth today for the Falcons as they go up against Jasper Spoon on the hill for the Oles. The lineup for them goes like this. Rowdy Williams, their right fielder, leads off, followed by the second baseman, Zach Hermanson. Coda Skinner bats third. He's at third base. Colton Hartman, the shortstop, hits cleanup as we get Carson Sims ready to step in, and he swings over the top of strike one, and that is how we start festivities today. 5 minutes ahead of schedule. Nothing wrong with that. Batting sixth today for the Oles, Ben Thurman, their catcher. Jasper Spoon, the pitcher, bats seventh. Hitting eighth is Nolan Spears, the left fielder, and the center fielder, Landon Vaughn, rounds out the order. Sims lifts the 0-1 pitch into center field, and the catch is made by Landon Vaughn, and there's one out here in the top of the first inning. Taking a look at Jasper Spoon on the hill for the Oles. Spoon from Oak Ridge High School. He's making his first start of the season, although this is his third overall appearance. He's previously pitched 6 innings this season without allowing a run. He has walked 4 batters, struck out 6, and allowed 2 hits as he gets ahead of Jacoby Takini with a pitch right over the middle, and the count to Jacoby is 0-1. Takini 4 RBIs in the 22-1 win yesterday for the Falcons. A great showing for him as he takes a pitch that misses upstairs there. Count is 1-0. The Falcons today in their red jerseys, white pants today for the Falcons. And in fact, by looking at these two teams, you'd think that, well, the opposite is true for who's home and away, as Dakini sends a line drive to third. Skinner knocks it down, and the throw to first is going to be in time. And there's 2 outs here in the inning. Falcons with colored tops and white pants. For the Olies, it's gray from head to toe, including the caps today, and that's why I've got them as gray on the scoreboard. Kind of atypical that we do that for a team, but try to color code them. The Olies in the classic road grays today, despite them being at home this afternoon. So in steps Ian Meyer with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the first inning. Meyer, along with the rest of his teammates, a few RBIs yesterday as he is hit by a pitch there, and the Falcons have a 2-out base runner here in the top of the first inning. Again, in that 22-1 win yesterday for the Falcons, not only did they score their most runs of the season, also their most hits of the season with 18. As Corbin Hamilton gets ready to step in. Hamilton walked twice yesterday and scored a run. Was one of the few Falcons who did not record a hit yesterday. One of only 2 Falcons who did not record a hit yesterday. Pitch in is called, I believe, a ball. Count is 1-0. They try to back pick Meyer at first, but he's back safely. Hamilton was subbed out of the game and replaced by Chase Barrett, who himself is absent from the lineup today, but we'll mention Chase on a 2-for-2 day, a couple of RBIs and a double for Chase. And so Hamilton back in the lineup today after just about everyone got to play yesterday as Hamilton fouls that one back. The count is even, a ball and a strike to the Falcons' left fielder. Jacoby Nickerson is due up next for the Falcons. Coach Sean Teeters down the third base side issuing some signs. I want to mention this at the top of the broadcast today, and I'll mention it probably a few other times as well. I talked with Coach Teeters before the game started today. There is a schedule change for tomorrow's games in Salem. Here's the 1-1 home to Hamilton. Pitch is taken outside. The throw to get Meyer is going to be late, and it winds up in center field. Meyer is going to stay put at second with a stolen base in scoring position and a 2-1 count to Corbin Hamilton. So like I said, schedule change tomorrow for Salem. The game originally scheduled for noon has now been moved to a 9 a.m. doubleheader. We'll still be with you here on mybasin.com, 104.3 960 Sports, but a much earlier game than anticipated coming to you live from Salem tomorrow for the Falcons. Hamilton takes a strike on the outer third there, and the count is even to him. Also, again, if you missed it, Roseburg was originally scheduled for 5 o'clock on Friday. That game has been moved to, I believe, 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon at Champion Car Wash Field. Hamilton takes strike 3 looking on the outer third, and that'll do it at the top of the first inning. Falcons get a man in scoring position, but they leave him stranded. We go to the bottom half of the first inning, scoreless on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home, I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Bottom half of the first inning, and due up for the Olies, Rowdy Williams, Zach Hermanson, and Coda Skinner as they get ready to go against Hunter Glidden, the starting pitcher today for the Falcons. Glidden making his second start of the summer. It's his 5th overall appearance. He's previously pitched 12 innings, has a 3-0 record. He's allowed 3 hits, 1 unearned run. He's walked 7 and struck out 21 batters. Like I said, no earned runs against Hunter Glidden yet in his first 12 innings this season. So a perfect 0-0-0 in the ERA column as Williams gets ready to settle in for the Olees. The Olees are built a lot like the Falcons are in the sense that they're taken from a number of different area high schools in Lane County, kind of dissimilar to how things work in the conference for the majority of schools, or the majority of teams rather, for the Falcons that they typically play. North Medford, South Medford, North Jackson. They're all affiliated with the high school that you play at. It's the first pitch to Rowdy Williams is called a strike. He falls behind 0-1. But a good test today against the Olees, who, again, this is a rematch of last year's state championship game between the Falcons and the Olees. The Falcons, of course, won that game. I believe 8-2 was the final score there, as a line drive off the bat of Williams, gloved by Teeters at second. And there's one out at the bottom of the first inning. So hopefully a good test for the Falcons today, as everyone loves a win in the win column, but a 22-1 win doesn't provide much to anybody, I don't think. And so hoping for a competitive ball game today and hoping that the Falcons are able to come out on top as Zach Hermanson gets ready to step in against Hunter Glidden. He shows bunt. He pulls back in time on a pitch that misses downstairs. Count is 1-0. So, like I said, as I look at this starting lineup, we've got representation from 5 different schools in Lane County, from Oak Ridge, North Eugene, Cresswell, and Lowell, and I believe South Eugene as well. So there you go. The Falcons, they're the same way. Representation from a number of different schools in the basin, too, as the 2-0 pitch is on its way from Hunter Glidden. That one is waved at, missed. Counts 2 balls and a strike. Now to Zach Hermanson. Glidden ready to go again with the 2-1 pitch. That one's popped up left side, foul territory. Safford, the third baseman, migrates over and makes the catch. There's 2 gone in the first inning. Again, a rematch of last year's championship game. 8-1 was the final score in that title game for the Falcons. And a number of these guys on that team from a season ago. It's a little bit different maybe for Eugene. I can't pull up their roster from last year, but only a couple of players not on this year's team that were on last year's Falcons team. As that pitch is sliced foul, the count is 0-1. The Falcons, obviously, of course, in the hunt for another state championship this year. They're leading the league coming into today's game. This is, of course, a non-league contest for the Falcons. 0-1 pitch lifted into the air, right center field. Hoblet going back, and he makes the catch. Played the shift well, was playing kind of in the right center field gap to begin with, and if he hadn't shifted over before the pitch, I don't think he would have got there, but played it well, and the Olees down in order in their first inning. We go to the second next on mybasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides, or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Top half of the second inning, and we are scoreless here from Sweet Johnson Stadium at North Eugene High School. Jacoby Nickerson, P.J. Safford, Trustin Thomas due up next for the Falcons as Jasper Spoon continues to work out there for the Olees. Eugene, kind of in a similar situation that the Falcons were a week ago, as they are running their kids camp this week. And so they had camp earlier today and then have moved, of course, into the games this afternoon against the Falcons. I believe today was the final day of their kids camp, and it's also their final game for quite some time until they host the Papa's Pizza Tournament the 4th of July weekend here at Sweet Johnson Stadium. So they get all the way up until Wednesday off until they get to host that tournament. The first pitch was called a strike to Nickerson. The second pitch is lifted into the air, shallow right field. Going to be tough to get to. A diving attempt, and the catch made by Williams in right field. Fantastic play by Williams to record the first out in the second inning. Can't take anything away from a diving effort from that. Nice play there. One out in the second. P.J. Safford due up next. Safford getting the start at third base today. It was nice to see him work a game behind the dish yesterday. Got a significant amount of playing time. I believe he caught 3 innings for the Falcons yesterday. As the pitch is a line drive towards right center field and down in front of Williams this time. He had no chance on that line drive as Safford reaches on a 1-out single. And the first base hit of the game for the Falcons with 1 out in the top of the second inning. Trustin Thomas gets ready to step in now. Thomas with a couple of RBIs yesterday in the win against Klamath, the Fighting Jays. But again, the whole team had a really good day yesterday. It's hard to expect that every time out. But Thomas, for his part, has been swinging the bat well as of late. He started the season, and I think coming up from Modoc in California and Alturas, it's just a different arms, different style, having to adjust to a new team as well with players who all know each other. That can be tough to just find a place to fit in. But I think, here we are. This is game number 13 of the season. As the pitch is a check swing. They move to Safford at first. The count is 1-1 to Trustin Thomas. But I think now that he's found his footing, it took him maybe 4 or 5 games to get there, but it really turned around for him on June 18th against North Jackson. That day he was 2 for 3 with a triple, 3 RBIs. On June 20th against Phoenix Cascade, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. As that pitch misses outside there, 2-1 the count to him now. And even yesterday, like I said, he was 1 for 1, had a base hit and an RBI. He also scored a run. So he's starting to find his footing, find his role within this team, and I think that's really great to see for him. The 2-1 pitch from Thomas is going to, or to Thomas rather, is going to miss upstairs. And that's not even mentioning his pitching numbers as well, because he pitched against Grants Pass through 4 innings, only allowing 1 run and striking out a pair of batters, only allowed 1 hit back on the 22nd to start this road trip for the Falcons. Here he pops one up in the infield, looks playable for the first baseman Clark, and he makes the catch. There are 2 outs in the inning. Safford stays put at first, and in steps Ty Teeters. Teeters, another guy who had to carve himself out a role on this team, but over the last handful of games, well, really since the beginning of the season, he's done well. He's played in, I believe, all but 2 games for the Falcons this season and has gotten a hit in all but 2 of those starts. So he's having a great season so far. That pitch is going to miss into him. The count is 1-0. Taking a look at the full season statistics for Ty Teeters, 3rd on the team in hitting, 14 for 26 on the year. The 1-0 pitch from Spoon on its way. That one's going to be called a strike on the outer third. Count is even at a ball and a strike. It's an artificial turf home plate area. That circle that you see where everyone's standing, and an artificial turf surface mound, but everything else is natural. Natural grass around the field, in the base paths, and in the outfield here at Sweet Johnson Stadium. The 1-1 home to Teeters is going to miss up, 2-1. 320 down the left field line, 330 down the right field line, 390 straightaway center here at Sweet Johnson, Gary Selby Field. 2-1 pitch home, runner on the move. It's called a strike. The throw down to get Safford, no chance. Safford beat the throw and he's into scoring position, but there are 2 strikes on Ty Teeters. The fence, though, here is tall, and I'm talking like 15 feet tall, so hard to push it out of here unless you get a lot of height on a fly ball. Teeters pokes one into center field. It's pretty much right to the center fielder, Vaughn, and that will end the inning. The Falcons get their first base hit of the game, but they leave him stranded as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Still scoreless on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food.
For your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Bottom half of the second inning, and it's the middle of the Ole's order due up here. Colton Hartman, Colden Clark, and Ben Thurman. As we get things going underway. Hunter Glidden was able to get through the first three batters with no problem in the first inning. We'll see how the middle of the order fares against Hunter. As the first pitch called a strike, Glidden started that curveball in, and it just broke across the plate in for a strike. And the count to Hartman is 0-1. Pitch on the way to Hartman. That one is going to miss low. Count is even. Hartman from Cresswell High School just wrapped up his sophomore season for Cresswell. They were the number 3 team in the OSAA rankings in the 3A classification this year, wound up making it to the semifinals where they would lose to the eventual state champion South Umpqua Lancers. That pitch misses up and in. 3-1 to Colton Hartman. So he'll be a junior next year for Cresswell. They had a 24-6 overall record, 14-1 in their league. That's impressive stuff. The 3-1 is a two-seam fastball. I think it missed up. And a walk to lead off the second inning for Hartman brings up Colden Clark. Colden, not Golden. I thought it was Golden when I first read it, but it's Colden with a C. Colden Clark, also from Cresswell High School, by the way. A couple of Bulldog teammates there. There's actually 3 Cresswell players in the starting lineup today for the Ole's. Landon Vaughn, who bats 9th, also a member of the Bulldogs. The pitch in is going to miss low and away. Count is 1-0. It's good to see, I think, a lot of these 2A, 1A, 3A schools get representation on this Ole's team, and they've got a fair shake to make it up to the Eugene Challengers the next season as well. The Challengers, of course, the AAA team, which plays here at Swede Johnson Stadium. They're in Reno for a week-long tournament down there. I know Bill Crawford, their typical broadcaster, is working hard down there and keeping his seat warm for him up here in the George Burke press box. Count is 1-1 to Colden Clark. Glidden takes a look at the runner Hartman at first, and now motions home. That one is lined over the head of the second baseman. Teeter settles down in center field for a base hit. 2 men on to lead off the second inning. And it brings up Ben Thurman. Thurman, the starting catcher today for the Ole's. They actually added another team here in Eugene as well, the Armadillos. I hadn't heard of a third team here until I got here today, and I learned that, yeah, they've fielded 3 teams here in Eugene. Pretty impressive youth baseball program that they run here. Pitch on the way to Thurman, and that one is going to be bunted down the third base side, and it will be a foul ball. Count is 0-1. After Thurman in the order is Jasper Spoon. A type of program that Eugene runs is, I think, the type of program that everyone in the state would like to run. A consistent championship contender at the top with the AAA team, and same with their single A team as well. Coaches up and down from all different schools in the area. The 0-1 pitch, he shows bunt, pulls back, rips it foul. The count is 0-2. They, of course, have an advantage with a ton of schools to draw from in a pretty populous area, something that maybe the Falcons just don't have by virtue of their location. Same for a number of other locations in the state. Of course, here in Eugene, a big city. But the 0-2 pitch on the way to Thurman is going to dip low. I suppose not a big city, but compared to Klamath Falls, certainly a lot bigger. And so the Challengers and the Ole's and the Armadillos and this whole program have that advantage. I'd say similar to a little bit about what Roseburg has, Medford has as well. Those are the teams that, of course, fielded AAA teams this year. The 1-2 pitch is called strike three. Glidden got Thurman looking for the first out in the second inning. That's certainly not something that the Falcons should shy away from, whether that's elevating the AAA team next year or adding a single A team and just expanding it as a program. Because once you build that, it becomes consistent. People become invested. We've seen that over the last couple of seasons. But I think that this is certainly the envy of the rest of the state. The pitch misses outside, 1-0 to Jasper Spoon from Oak Ridge High School. Starting pitcher today was a member of the all-conference team for Oak Ridge. They are a member of Special District 5 in the 2A, 1A classification at the OSAA level, the prep season, as the 1-0 misses outside. Oak Ridge this season was the number 18 team in the 2A, 1A class. They finished 17-11 overall on the season. And they were eliminated in the second round by Cross Hill Christian, 17-0, a mercy rule loss there. But Cross Hill Christian, to their credit, they went on and they finished state runner-up. So can't feel too bad about losing to a team that makes such a deep run like that. And to win their first-round playoff matchup, too, did Oak Ridge. The 3-0 on the way to Spoon is called a strike. Two-seam fastball just caught the inside part as Glidden tries to battle back into this at-bat. 3-1. Nolan Spears is on deck for the Ole's. Set is Glidden. He kicks and delivers and hits the batter and loads the bases in doing so. Spoon will take first. Hartman advances to third. Clark to second. And in steps Nolan Spears. Spears getting the start in left field today for the Ole's. They enter 4-6 on the season. Played back on Monday against Roseburg, the team that the Falcons will see coming up on Friday. Played a doubleheader against them. Lost the opener 4-3, won the nightcap 11-0. They've also got wins against Bend and the Sandium Christian team, as well as Corvallis. 1 out, bases loaded. Here's the first pitch to Nolan Spears, and a nice frame-up job by Jacoby Tacchini, maybe buying Glidden a strike there on the outside part. The count is 0-1 to Spears. Landon Vaughn, the number 9 hitter, due up next for Eugene. Tacchini delivers the sign. Glidden comes set. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curve ball dips below the zone. 1-1. Realized I haven't set up the defense for you for the Falcons. P.J. Safford at third. Carson Sims at short, Ty Teeters at second with Ian Meyer at first, Hamilton in left, Hoblet in center, and Thomas in right. Glidden with the 1-1. That one swung on and missed. Count is 1-2. There's a walk, a base hit, and a hit by pitch to load the bases here in the second, but Glidden trying to work himself out of it here. He's got 2 strikes on the number 8 hitter, Nolan Spears. He comes set, surveys the field, and motions home. That one is swung on and missed. Dipped the fastball below the zone there and got him to chase. And there's 2 outs here in the second inning, bringing up Landon Vaughn. Big opportunity here for both of these teams early in the ball game. For Glidden, trying to keep this ball game scoreless. For Vaughn, a base hit scores 1, maybe 2, and a shot in the gap scores a bundle. See how Vaughn approaches this at-bat here as Glidden comes set. First pitch in is a bouncer back up towards the middle, gloved by Glidden. He'll do it himself, throw on to first to end the inning. The Ole's leave the bases loaded in the second. We head to the third scoreless on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
9-1-2 for the Falcons due up here in the top half of inning number 3. That's Harley Hoblet, Carson Sims, and Jacoby Tacchini. Want to remind anybody who might have missed my announcement top of the broadcast today, tomorrow's doubleheader against Vencer, initially scheduled for a noon start, has been moved to a 9 a.m. first pitch. It'll still be a twin bill against Vencer, but a much earlier start time than we had initially anticipated. As that pitch moves outside to Hoblet, the count is 1-0. That time, Hoblet watches one dip beneath the zone. The count is 2-0 to Harley. Starting in center field today for the Falcons, Harley this season off to a good start, batting .450 on the season for the Falcons. The 2-0 pitch is going to bounce in the turf, 3-0, and the throw back to the pitcher is actually fielded by the second baseman. Regardless, 3-0 the count to Hoblet. All 9 of his hits this season have been singles. He scored 12 runs for the team this year. He's worked 10 walks, and he'll take strike 1 there. Dialed back the velocity, I think, a little bit from Spoon to try to get one across. Hoblet still in a definite hitter's count to head 3-1. Pitch is on the way. That time it misses low and away, and Hoblet works a walk, and it brings up Carson Sims. First walk issued by Spoon. Of course, he did hit a batter earlier, but the first proper base on balls, and it brings up Carson Sims with a runner on and nobody out. Sims flew out his first time up. Flew out to straightaway center field as he digs back in for his second chance here. Yesterday in the win against Philomath, 3 for 5 and a triple. Gave him 2 RBIs. Here he hits one hard to right field. That one gets down in front of Williams. Hoblet is going to stay put at second base, and so 2 men on, still nobody out here for Jacoby Tacchini. Like we said, in Tacchini's first at-bat, he had 4 RBI against Philomath yesterday. Probably his best game of the season. Yeah, he was 2 for 3 in that contest. 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored. He had a double in that contest as well. A couple of sacrifice flies, but you'll take it if it scores your team some runs. Pitch on the way to Tacchini. A curveball misses wide. Count is 1-0. Sacrifice fly won't score any runs here, but it could potentially move 1, maybe 2 guys into scoring position for the middle of the order, beginning with Ian Meyer due up next. 1-0 count from Spoon. He kicks and delivers. That one is going to miss low to Tacchini. They try to backpick the runner at second, but the throw winds up behind second base. Thankfully for the Ole's, the second baseman Hermanson was there to back up the throw again. And so everyone stays put, and the count to Tacchini is 2-0. On the season, Jacoby batting .286, and in fact had his first extra base hit of the season yesterday against Philomath. The 2-0 to Jacoby is called a strike. Count is 2-1. A couple of groans from the fans of, I think, all sides here. That outside pitch has been given to these hitters today, but it's seemingly been there through the first 2.5 innings or so. So hitters going to have to adjust to that outside strike call today as the 2-1 comes in to Takini. It's a bouncer up the middle, takes an awkward hop towards Hermanson at second, tags the bag for one, and then goes on to first for the double play. A 4-3 double play makes it 2 outs in the inning, but also advancing to third was Harley Hoblet, so it's going to take a base hit from Ian Meyer to try to score the game's opening run after the double play. Meyer was hit by a pitch his first time up, and he was left stranded in scoring position. Meyer this season is second on the team in hitting. I suppose first, though, if you take into account sample size. Medeiros technically leads the team. Hold that thought. Bouncer up the middle. It ricochets off the pitcher to the shortstop, and Meyer beats out the infield single. Run comes in to score, and the Falcons lead 1-0. That was a bouncer to Spoon. Going against his body momentum, he tried to reach back across. The ball bounced off the webbing of his glove towards the shortstop, and by the time it got to him, Meyer had already raced down the line and was safe. Give Meyer an RBI, and the Falcons lead by a run. Here is Corbin Hamilton. First pitch to Hamilton is fouled back. The count's 0-1. As I was saying, Meyer, taking into account sample size, leads the team in hitting. In 45 plate appearances, he's batting now just a shade above 600. Came in hitting 600 on the season. Colby Medeiros is 2 for 3 to start the year, but too small to count him as the team leader. Hamilton is going to foul that one off, and the count to Corb is 0-2. After Hamilton in the order, if he finds a way to get aboard, it is Jacoby Nickerson. Looking in his Spoon, he comes set. Catcher Thurman sets the target, and now the pitch. Runner is on the move. Hamilton fouls it off, and so he'll have to go back. Count remains, though, to Corbin. This season for Hamilton, batting .484 on the season. 7 RBIs, 13 runs scored for Corb. Thing that's been the hang-up for him, 14 strikeouts. That leads the team. And he's got 2 strikes on him here, trying to protect. Here's the 0-2 coming up from Spoon, and Hamilton again fights it off, doing his job. Nice night here in Eugene, 87 degrees here at Sweet Johnson Stadium, cooling off as well. There's not too much of a breeze, although it doesn't feel like 87. It feels a little bit cooler. It's a nice night as Hamilton bounces one up the middle. Charging it as Hartman comes up with it. The throw on to first is in time, and that will end the top of the third inning. But the Falcons get on the board on the RBI from Ian Meyer, and we go to the bottom half of the third next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Getting set now for the bottom half of the third inning on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com. The Falcons added a run in the top half of this inning. It's up to Hunter Glidden to try to protect it against the Eugene Ole Athletics. A non-league game today for the Falcons against the Oles. There was a couple of league games that were going on earlier today in the Falcons conference, though, as we'll try to catch you up on what you may have missed around the league here in just a moment, as we got the top of the order due up here for the Oles. Rowdy Williams, Zach Hermanson, and Coda Skinner. First pitch is called a strike. The count is 0-1. The Medford Mavericks playing a non-league game earlier today, and that was an 11-4 loss against the Klamath Challengers. And Medford also, I believe they've got another game coming up later on today that hasn't quite started yet. So the count is 0-2 at the plate to Rowdy Williams. Glidden delivers a curveball that's fought off foul. Count remains 0-2. South Medford and North Jackson played a doubleheader today. It was 2 wins for the South Medford Colts. Here's the 0-2. That pitch dips below the zone, 1-2. South Medford won their games 4-2 and 13-5, so that improves their record to 7-3 on the season. That also mirrors their league mark. They haven't actually played anyone outside the league yet. The pitch to Williams is looked at for strike 3, and Glidden gets a strikeout looking for Glidden today. That's his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon, and it brings up Zach Hermanson. Hermanson popped out in foul territory his first time up, so 0 for 1 today, looking to improve upon that for his Ole's. Batting here from the right side against Hunter Glidden. Checking the pitch count for Hunter. It's number 35 as he misses low and away with that one. Count 1-0. Hermanson, 273 to start the season for the Ole's, 6 for his first 22. They've all been singles as he watches a curveball drop in for a strike, 1-1. Hermanson, 3 RBIs on the year, as well as 3 walks and 7 runs scored. He's played in every single game for Eugene this season. Here, he gets hit by a pitch. That one came in up by his neck on the curveball, but he seems to be okay, and there's a 1-out base runner for the Ole's in the bottom of the 3rd. Second man that Hunter has hit with a pitch today, and it brings up Coda Skinner. Coach Strickland down the third base side, giving signs to Hermanson at first and the batter Skinner at the plate. First pitch is a curveball, grounds towards short. Sims up with it, takes the sure thing at first, and they get the out. And there's 2 gone in the inning, but Hermanson does advance into scoring position with 2 gone here for Colton Hartman. Hartman walked and was left stranded at third when the Ole's loaded the bases in the 2nd inning. Now trying to come through with an RBI hit. Hartman this season is batting .393 for the Ole's, and his 7 RBIs are second most on the team. Here's the pitch. Curveball misses low. Not a bad pitch on the first offering from Glidden. Trying to maybe get Hartman to chase there, but throw that off-speed breaking pitch on the first pitch. Unlikely to get someone to chase, but still, I like that pitch opportunity. Glidden has confidence in that off-speed stuff. The 1-0 is a fastball. Glidden comes right back with the heater and gets a swing and a miss. Something that I've appreciated watching Hunter work this season. Confidence in the off-speed stuff. And when he can continue to throw it for strikes and you can throw it anywhere in the count, it really confounds those hitters up there. The 1-1 is off speed. It dips away, 2-1. After Hartman, it's Colden Clark in the order for the Ole's. Hartman digs back in, the team starting shortstop from Crestwell High School. The 2-1 is a check swing that bounces to the plate, and yes, Hartman held up in time. Count is 3-1. First base is open with the runner at second being Hermanson. So a walk isn't going to really hurt Glidden too bad yet. But he'd like to come back and find the zone. Here's the 3-1, and he does. Two-seam starts off the plate and breaks back towards the right-hander. And it's a full count to Colton Hartman. Hasn't really swung the bat yet in this at-bat. Now he's going to be forced to protect in a 3-2. Glidden comes set. Takini sets the target. Here's the pitch in from Glidden. Curveball waved at and missed, and Glidden leaves another in scoring position as we head to the 4th in a 1-0 ball game on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
Josh Eldridge back with you here in the top of the fourth inning from Swede Johnson Stadium, home of the North Eugene Highlanders. But today, the Eugene Ole Athletics as the Falcons lead the Oles 1-0 in the top of the fourth. For the Falcons so far today, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. They've left 3 runners on base. For the Oles, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they have left 4 runners on base so far in the ball game. Due up this half for the Falcons, Jacoby Nickerson, P.J. Safford, and Trustin Thomas. That's 5, 6, and 7 in the order against Jasper Spoon. The first pitch to Nickerson is going to miss wide, and the count is 1-0. Nickerson flew out to right field back in the second inning of this one. Getting his second look at Spoon here, working out of the windup, and the 1-0. That one will miss wide as well. 2-0 the count to Nickerson. On the season, Nickerson batting .286 for the Falcons. 5 of his hits have been singles. He does have 1 double and 6 RBI this season for the Falcons. Pitch on the way from Spoon, misses upstairs, and Nickerson works way ahead here, up 3-0 to lead off the fourth inning. A single 9-inning game today between the Falcons and the Oles. 3-0 the count, and the pitch is looked at for a strike, letter high over the heart of the plate. Good take, I think, by Nickerson there. When you're ahead like that, just look for one pitch in a spot. He can similarly do the same thing here in a 3-1 count. This one is a line drive back up the middle. It's gloved by Hermanson. Against his body, throws to first. It short hops the first baseman and rolls into the Oles dugout. So Nickerson is going to get a free base out of that one. And that will bring up P.J. Safford. Safford singled in the first inning. He was left stranded in scoring position, but a single here would likely score a run as Nickerson reached on the error. Charge it an E4 to Hermanson as the first pitch on the way to Safford is going to miss upstairs. 1-0. PJ digging back in here. Modest lead off a second for Nickerson. Both middle infielders trying to hold him there as that pitch to PJ catches the inside part and the count's even. Taking a look at the statistics for Safford on the season. Batting .304 for the Falcons as he swings at the off-speed stuff away and falls behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Want to wait for that one to get a little bit deeper in the zone for Safford. Swung over the top and a tad early on the curveball away. Going to choke up a bit here in a 2-strike count with nobody out and a runner in scoring position. The pitch to Safford. Curveball hit back up the middle. Hermanson a chance, though, for it. Up with it. The throw to first is in time, but Safford, for all intents and purposes, does his job, moving a runner over to third for 1 out in the inning, and Trustin Thomas due up now for the Falcons. That's a productive out for Safford. Thomas today popped out to first base. He's 0 for 1 today. He's talking about how far he's come since even just the beginning of this Legion season, batting .280. He's seen his batting average improve more than 100 points in, really since this road trip started for the Falcons. The count is now 0-1, and I think, again, Talk about a kid finding his role, working into a new team with kids who already all know each other. A road trip like this helps tremendously.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Pitch on the way is a bouncer towards the left side of the infield. Charging it is Skinner. No one's going to be able to score. They hold Nickerson at third, and they throw out Thomas at first. There's 2 outs, and now it's going to take a base hit to score Nickerson with Ty Teeters due up now. Teeters flew out to center field in his first at-bat in the second inning. Trying to come up for his team here. Teeters on the year, batting .538. Falcons lead 1-0, top of the fourth. Teeters trying to grow it. He chops one foul down the third base line, and the count is 0-1. After Teeters in the order, if the Falcons are able to continue this half inning, it's Harley Hoblett. Set on the hill is Spoon. High leg kick and delivers a two-seam fastball that misses up. A ball and a strike to the young Ty Teeters. Digs back in here. Again, Nickerson stands at third. Almost no lead for him. 1-1. Here it comes. Taking a look at strike two. That one was right down the middle. You might not get a better pitch to hit than that this at-bat for Ty Teeters, and I think he knew it right away. Kind of shook his head. But you got to have a short memory up there and protect in a two-strike count. Spoon set. Now the pitch. Curveball up and in. It misses to Teeters. And the count is 2-2. Had to kind of curl out of the way of that pitch as he works the count even. Set on the hill is Spoon once more. And the pitch. Teeters chops one foul again. Count still 2-2. Teeters stands wide in the box, tall, keeps his hands hovering over the plate. Here's the 2-2. Spoon set for a while and now delivers. That one misses away. Good take there by Ty, and the count is full. Couldn't quite tell if that was the fastball or the slider. To me, it looked like it had a little bit of movement, but it also had quite a bit of velocity. Not a bad pitch from Spoon there. We'll see where he goes here in a 3-2. The pitch on the way is bounced towards the right side of the infield. It takes an awkward hop for Hermanson, but he recollects and makes the play in time. And that'll do it in the top of the fourth inning. The Falcons get a runner to third, but they leave him there. They do lead 1-0 as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Rob, why do you think so many families choose Subaru here?
Because they're built for real life here in Southern Oregon.
All-wheel drive, safety, and room for everything from kids to camping gear.
And we've got Subarus in stock, ready to go when you are.
Plus, we're locally owned and deeply involved in the community.
When you buy from us, you buy from a dealership that supports Klamath Falls. Stop by and say hi.
Friendly, local, and easy to work with. That's us at Klamath Falls Subaru, right on Washburn Way.
Bottom of the fourth inning here on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com. The Klamath Falls Falcons lead the Eugene Ole Athletics 1-0. Colden Clark, Ben Thurman, and Jasper Spoon do up this half for the Oles. Hunter Glidden still out there working for the Falcons. Pitch number 45 to lead off the inning is bounced towards Sims at short. On two hops, Sims is up with it, fires to Meyer in time, and one pitch and one out in the fourth inning. I've talked about how productive this road trip is for team bonding for the Falcons and having to face some adversity with schedule changes too. I mean, all these things bring a team closer together, and Well, being forced to spend time with each other off the baseball field certainly does as well. First pitch to Thurman is going to be taken low, 1-0 the count. Last night, I was leaving the hotel room. Like I said, I'm staying at the same place the Falcons are, just by happenstance. Happened to book at the same spot. The 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike. Count is even now to Thurman, 1-1. And so last night I walk across the street. They've got this it's kind of like the Tap House in Klamath Falls, where you got like a bar and then a bunch of food trucks, and it's family friendly and all that stuff. Hold that thought. Line drive is caught by Teeters at second, and there's 2 outs in the inning. And so I go over there last night, order myself some street tacos. By the way, yesterday, Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, 4 street tacos, $6. Can't beat that deal. I was thrilled about that. I turn around behind me, and there's like half the Falcons team playing a full-on cornhole tournament with each other. The first pitch is fouled off to Jasper Spoon. They had divided themselves up into teams. They were playing each other, and I was sitting there just watching, enjoying myself, having some tacos. And I got to say, due to my own assessment, I got to give credit to Hayden Poore, because I think he was the best cornhole player. He was also the one explaining rules. Colby Medeiros was explaining rules as well, although no shame to Colby. He's more of a rule explainer in cornhole than a player. But Hayden Poore was really good, and so I was actually impressed. Count is even right now to the number 7 hitter in the order of the pitcher, Jasper Spoon. The 1-1 pitch in is... Ooh, if that missed anywhere, it had to be low. That looked over the plate for sure. 2-1, the count to Spoon. Glidden delivers the 2-1. Strike called. Ian Meyer was in on the action too with a cornhole tournament. He was all right. Carson Sims was there too. Some of these guys were wearing sunglasses at like 8 o'clock at night, and so I couldn't quite tell who they all were. Oh, and a pitch upstairs called strike 3 against Spoon. We'll hold that thought and continue it later as Glidden sets down the side in order in the 4th inning as we go to the 5th in a 1-0 ball game next on mybasin.com.
Over the last year, you've heard and seen the advertisement for God's Gifts 2, a local photographer who travels to high school sporting events and takes individual and team action photos at a great price. Something you may not know, though, is that the money from God's Gifts Photography supports 6 children in Kenya who Annalisa has met on mission trips. If you'd like to capture your athlete in action and help support these kids, call 541-281-2206. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook.
Looking for insurance from someone who truly understands rural Klamath? Meet Gabby Haskins, a licensed agent for Country Financial, born and raised in Merrill, with deep roots in agriculture and the local way of life. Whether you're protecting your family farm, homes, vehicles, businesses, Gabby's here to help. She offers trusted, personalized insurance for farm, life, home, auto, commercial, and retirement needs at Gary Sheen's Country Financial office in Merrill. Stop by today and see why Merrill residents trust one of their own. Country Financial, here to help you experience more in Merrill.
Getting set now for the top half of the 5th inning on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com. Let's go ahead and check the line score for our 2 teams today as the Falcons lead 1-0. For the Falcons so far, 1 run comes on 4 hits. They've committed no errors. They have left 4 runners on base today. For the Ole's, no runs, 1 hit for them. They've also committed 1 error, and they have left 4 runners on base today. Due up this half inning for the Falcons, Harley Hoblet, Carson Sims, and Jacoby Tacchini. Hoblet walked and came around to score what so far is the game's only run back in the 3rd inning. Led off that frame too. Here's the pitch from Jasper Spoon. That one is a line drive, foul down the first base side. Count is 0-1. That one just bending foul there. Jasper Spoon has been throwing well against the Falcons so far today in 4 innings pitched. He struck out 1 batter and walked 1 batter. He's produced a lot of weak contact in the air. 0-1 is a bouncer towards the left side, foul. Chopping ground balls, rollers up the middle. The Falcons, like I said, they've got their 4 hits, but it's been few and far between for the Falcons. They were able to get 2 hits in the 3rd inning. That's the inning they scored their lone run in. Here's the 0-2 to Hoblet, and this is a chopper out towards second. Hermanson plays that one well. Toss on to first, a routine ground out to begin the 5th inning. And we go to the top of the order for Carson Sims. Sims 1 for 2 today, along with a flyout in the first inning. He singled his last time up in the third. Carson on the season batting .333. Had a triple yesterday against Falcons and a couple of RBIs. 8 so far for him on the season, and right now second on the team in runs scored with 16 so far this season. Sims settles in, batting from the right side here. And here's the pitch. That one is rolled foul. Counts 0-1. Sims was in that cornhole tournament I was talking about, by the way. He was kind of hesitant to play. I saw him in the corner of the tent that they had out there, and then finally they all convinced him to come out there. He actually did a pretty good job, might I add, for a guy who was kind of tepidly not wanting to play as that pitch misses inside, 1-1. But got to give credit where credit's due. These guys know how to play cornhole. I stayed out of it. I'm not very good. And I knew, by the way, for myself that I would just embarrass myself in front of these guys. In a baseball team, they'll never let you hear the end of it. I got to keep my aura up, I think. The 1-1 pitch to Sims misses in, 2-1. Can't put my pride on the line like that. After Sims in the order, it's Jacoby Takini. The catcher for the Falcons waits on deck. 2-1 the count to Sims. And he lifts that one sky high into right field. Williams comes in, makes the catch. 2 gone in the inning. So here is the aforementioned Jacoby Takini. Ground out twice today. Once in the first, once in the third. On the season, Jacoby batting .286. And after him in the order, hoping for a chance, is Ian Meyer. Spoon working quickly. And here's the pitch. That one is going to hit Takini on the first pitch. And he's aboard here for Ian Meyer. See if we get a courtesy runner. It looks like we are. It looks like Max Rogers is going to come out here and run for Takini with 2 outs after being hit by the pitch. And with Rogers aboard at first, in steps Ian Meyer. Meyer this season for the Falcons hitting .600. He's really come along nicely, and I've talked a lot about him, but I can recall watching Ian in his sophomore season for Henley and thinking even then he's starting a handful of games at third base. I just like to watch him play. He's just a good kid and a gamer out there as he takes ball 1 low, 1-0. His junior year, his role on the Hornets was kind of in question. He lost his starting job at third for about half the season. They tried him out at first base a little bit, had him DH quite a bit, which was good because he got a chance to continue swinging the bat. To move over to first, back safely is the runner Rogers. But in his senior season, like I've said, found that consistency in his starting role at first base. And once he was consistently in the lineup every day, he just got so much better as the season and the summer has gone along. And for a kid who is just a workhorse his whole high school career, it's good to see him finally perform to the best of his ability at the end of his high school career. Meyer fouls off the 1-0 pitch, counts even at 1-1. I don't know if he has plans to further his baseball playing career at a non-collegiate level or if he plans to potentially make a return if the Falcons wind up moving up a classification next year, whatever the case might be. I know he's going to the University of Oregon, so here in Eugene he's going to be calling this place home soon enough. Actually had to drive by the University of Oregon to get up here just the other day. It's pretty crazy always seeing Autzen Stadium from the freeway. I always just think it's so cool. You get a little peek of it through the trees. Just the mystique of it is so cool. Meyer fouls that one off. Counts 1-2. Even yesterday on the drive to Philomath, we drove right by Reser Stadium, where the Oregon State Beavers play, of course. And even the place where I kind of park when I go up there, too. There's an elementary school, the district office out there. It's like a mile walk from the stadium. Drove right by there. All those places that I know. So it's been a fun road trip for the Falcons so far this week. Seeing the places, driving by U of O, driving by OSU. A chance that the team might go to Goss Stadium tomorrow to check out the Corvallis Knights, with the game in Salem having been moved out earlier. Of course, a former Klamath Falls Falcon, Mark Carpenter, plays for the Corvallis Knights. And so with them being in town, the team may be making plans to go see the Knights. The 1-2 on the way to Ian Meyer's going to have to wait as they check on Rogers again at first. But again, he's back safely. After Meyer in the order, it's Corbin Hamilton. Set on the hill is Spoon. Now he motions home. Pitch to Meyer, ground ball to short. Up with it is Hartman. Throws to first in time, and that'll do it in the fifth inning. The Falcons earn a base runner, but they leave him stranded. We go to the bottom half of the fifth next in a 1-0 ball game on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Bottom half of inning number 5 here on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com. It's 8-9-1 due up in the Ole's order against the Falcons. Nolan Spears, Landon Vaughn, and Rowdy Williams. Hunter Glidden still out there working for the Falcons in this one, and doing well, might I add, as the first pitch is going to miss low. The count is 1-0. Check of the line score here for Glidden so far. He's, oh, pardon me, I got the wrong one up. Well, let's take a look at this line score. Just a moment. Bouncer to third. Safford on 2 hops, throws across the diamond. And Meyer keeps his foot on the bag and makes the out. 1 gone in the 5th inning. Thought he might have pulled his foot, but that's why I'm up here and they're down there, as I say. All right. Taking a look at Glidden so far. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts today. Pitch in is going to get away from Tacchini on the one that misses low. Landon Vaughn, 0 for 1 today. The pitch called a strike. Count is even. 1-1. After Vaughn, back to the top for Rowdy Williams. Here's the 1-1 from Glidden. Off speed, drops in for a strike. Nice pitch there from Glidden. And he uses it to get ahead of the Ole's center fielder. Glidden tries again. The 1-2. High leg kick and a delivery. Dips below the zone away. Tried to get Vaughn to chase the curveball away, but Cresswell product wisely laying off. Here's the 2-2. Two-seamer misses away, no question about that one. Then the count runs full to Landon Vaughn. Vaughn shortens up his stance a bit, and he waves and misses at strike 3. 6 Ks on the ball game for Hunter Glidden, and there's 2 outs in the 5th. Back to the top for Rowdy Williams. He is a strikeout casualty from earlier in the ball game, back in the 3rd, and he also popped out in the 1st inning. Williams on the season batting .444 for the Ole's. All 8 of his hits this season have been singles, although hitless today against Hunter Glidden. Trying to change that here as Glidden gets ahead with that curveball. Started about the letters, broke on the outside corner of the plate about thigh high. Nice job there by Hunter to get ahead. The 0-1, two-seam up and in. Although that one goes to the ball again, I don't mind that location. You go curveball away, fastball up and in, changing the eye level, changing the velocity. The 1-1 is going to miss low, 2-1. That's the pitch you got to capitalize on, though, if you're going to go inside-outside and even the count. But Glidden here falls behind, and so the game plan of the at-bat might change a little bit for him here As Takini offers the signal, Glidden misses outside, and it's 3-1. After Williams in the order, it's Zach Hermanson hoping for a chance this half inning. Williams, a patient hitter, 5 walks, leads the team so far this season. Here he fouls one off, and the count is full, 3-2. Again, a little bit of a smaller sample size for Eugene than Klamath Falls, who've played only 11 games, or I suppose 10 previous coming into today. Whereas for the Falcons, this is game number 13. The 3-2 is a bouncer up the middle over the head of Glidden, but Sims is charging, and he's unable to make the play off his back foot, and that will extend the inning, bringing up Zach Hermanson. Be curious how they score that one. I think it'll probably go in as an E6 as Hermanson steps in. Hermanson reached on an error his last time up, was left stranded in scoring position, otherwise flew out in foul territory in the first inning. Glidden looking in, and he delivers to Hermanson. Two-seamer ripped to third by the diving glove of Safford and into left field. An error that extends the inning. Now the Falcons in a bit of hot water as the tying run in scoring position, and the go-ahead run is on base in the bottom of the fifth. First hit for the Olies since the second inning. And there's 2 men on here, and still 2 men out for Coda Skinner. Skinner batting here from the right side. First pitch from Glidden. Curveball, and he uses it to get ahead, 0-1. Skinner this season, so you're trying to find the looks for him. 400 hitter. 5 singles, 5 doubles. He leads the team in runs scored this year. And in RBI. First pitch misses, the 0-1 misses low, 1-1. He's scored 11 runs and he's knocked in 8 runs this year. Has Coda Skinner from North Eugene High School. He calls Sweet Johnson Stadium home in the springtime. The 1-1 pitch, curveball drops in for a strike. Glidden fooled him to get ahead. Big pitch on the way for Glidden. Trying to keep that tying run stranded out there for the second time. Here's the 1-2. That one is going to hit the batter. I think it got his batting glove, maybe his sleeve. And Coach Teeter's going to come out. He just wants to ask where it hit him, maybe. So I didn't see it. I think it says it got his sleeve under his arm is the motion that the home plate umpire made. The hitter didn't think it got him, but I think when it hits your sleeve, it's like you don't really feel it. That's something that the umpire has to spot, motion of the jersey. Teeter's going to argue his case, but I don't think there's really much to talk about, unfortunately, for the Falcons. The bases are going to get loaded. The umpires might get together to talk about it, but truthfully, the base umpire who's out there behind the mound doesn't really have a better look than the home plate umpire does. And so it'll bring up Colton Hartman after Glidden hits the batter. Teeter's heading back to the dugout. He's backpedaling, still continuing to speak with the umpire. But like I said, unfortunately for the Falcons, I don't know if there's much to talk about there. And Hartman steps in now. Bases loaded for the second time today for the Olies. They trail by a run in the bottom of the fifth inning. Hartman walked and struck out so far today. Glidden kicks and delivers the pitch. Starts with a curveball. It's hit into the air, center field. Hoblet backpedaling and makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. The Olies load him up but leave him stranded for the second time today. And the Falcons cling on to a 1-run advantage as we head to the sixth on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Middle of the Falcons order due up this half inning. It's Corbin Hamilton, Jacoby Nickerson, and P.J. Safford. A 1-0 ball game that the Klamath Falls Falcons lead here at Swede Johnson Stadium, Gary Selby Field on the campus of North Eugene High School. Used to be able to look over the left field fence and see most of the school, and I believe the gym used to be located over left field too. It's changed over the last couple of years. I think the softball complex might be new as well, and it's a big grass patch over the outfield fence. And the school's located off the first base side as that pitch misses upstairs. Count is 1-0 to Corbin Hamilton. He's 0 for 2 today. Struck out in the first, grounded out in the third, trying to get something going for the Falcons, who've been kept off the board since the third inning. As that pitch misses low and away to Corb, 2-0. Again, if you missed it earlier in the broadcast, want to make it known, tomorrow's doubleheader against Vencer has been moved to a 9 a.m. first pitch. Was initially scheduled for noon, but again, scheduled now for 9 a.m. tomorrow in Salem. Also, Friday's game against Roseburg got moved as well, although that might be old news if you paid attention to the broadcast yesterday. Initially scheduled for, I believe, 5 o'clock. It's been moved up to 1 o'clock. The 3-0 pitch home is called a strike, 3-1. One more schedule change for the Falcons. Sunday, the return game home. Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock. Single 9-inning game against Roseburg. The 3-1 is going to miss upstairs. Hamilton works a walk to lead off the 6th inning. And so it brings up Jacoby Nickerson. So a lot of things moving around, but all non-league games, by the way. The Falcons return to league play next Tuesday, a home doubleheader against North Jackson, and then a home doubleheader on Wednesday the 1st against Phoenix Cascade before the Falcons head back out onto the road for a tournament in Roseburg. The throw down to get Hamilton swiping second. Good aggressive base run in there by the Falcons, and they've got a man in scoring position with nobody out, and Jacoby Nickerson at the plate. That pitch, by the way, missed well outside, and Nickerson works ahead 1-0. Nickerson today reached on an error his last time up, but flew out to right field in the 2nd inning. He takes a strike that time, and the count is even to the Falcons' designated hitter. And a quick meeting from Thurman to Spoon gives us an opportunity to remind you today our broadcast on mybasin.com, brought to you in part by Howard's Meat Center, where tradition meets innovation with every cut and every bite of Smokin' H barbecue. As you step through their doors, you're not just entering a meat center, you're stepping back to a time when the quality of the customer service was everything. Check out Howard's Meat Center next to Les Schwab Tires on South 6th Street. All right, it's a 1-1 count to Jacoby Nickerson. He swings underneath the fastball, and the count's 1-2 now to Nickerson with P.J. Safford waiting on deck. Corbin Hamilton led off this inning by reaching on a walk. He stands at second after the steal, and the 2-strike offering on the way to Nickerson. Here it comes. A check swing. Jacoby holds up in time, and the count is 2-2 to Nickerson. Jacoby Nickerson batting .286 coming into today for the Falcons. The 2-2 is fouled off. Nickerson got a piece of that one, fouled it back into the home plate umpire. Everyone looks to be okay, though. 2-2. Both middle infielders, Hartman at short, Hermanson at second, trying to keep Hamilton close to second. But they both return to their standard position as that pitch comes in and plunks Nickerson. 2 on, nobody out for P.J. Safford. Third hit batter for Jasper Spoon today. And at 77 pitches, it looks like we might be seeing a change here for the Olies as he motions over to his first baseman, Colden Clark. And Clark looks for a new glove. So it looks like the Olies are going to be making a pitching change here in the top half of the 6th inning in a 1-0 ball game. We'll get you all the changes. Well, maybe not yet. No changes yet. Clark goes back to first. Boy, that really looked like a pitching change was coming. I think, and also Clark was the only one who was in that circle, along with the catcher and the coach, not like the rest of the infield came in. So I wonder if Spoon said, let me keep pitching, coach. Although I don't know what kind of pull he has, but it looked like everyone was ready to make a change until they got out there. Pitch to Safford, misses upstairs, 1-0. PJ in another position to try to lay down a sacrifice bunt, but corners come in as Spoon comes set in a 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Safford bunts that one foul, and the count is even to the Falcons' third baseman. Trustin Thomas is due up next. Ty Teeters issues a new set of signs. Sean Teeters issues a new set of signs down the left field side. He's assisted today by Caleb Keelan. Drew Rabel has joined the team on their road trip finally, along with Craig Connor and Pete Whistler. Count is 2 balls and a strike to P.J. Safford after he watched that pitch miss low and away, pulled back the bunt in time to work ahead. And set on the hill is Spoon. The pitch coming in. Safford again pulls back the bunt, and this time it gets away from the catcher. Both men are going to advance. And the count's 3-1 to Safford. Probably not in a bunting situation anymore as Hamilton goes to third and Nickerson's in scoring position at second. Still nobody out in the inning. And that pass ball could come back to cost the Ole's, but the Falcons first have to capitalize on it. Safford can look for one pitch in one spot here. The Klamath Union Pelican turned Oregon Tech Owl awaits the pitch and hits one into the air right field. Williamson racing in, but it drops down in front of him for a base hit. Taking off from third to score is Hamilton, and the Falcons lead 2-0 on the RBI single from P.J. Safford. Nickerson stayed at second, by the way. That was in question whether or not Williams was going to be able to come in and make the catch. And he kind of pulled on the brakes at the very last second. The ball dropped in front of him, and Hamilton scored. It looks like now we are finally going to see the pitching change here for the Ole's. We'll discuss the changes for you when we come back. Top of the 6th inning, the Falcons lead by 2 on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides, and or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Josh Eldridge back with you here in the top of the 6th inning on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com. It's a 2-0 ball game that the Klamath Falls Falcons lead. New pitcher into the game for the Ole's is Colden Clark. Taking a look at Clark on the season, he's only thrown 2/3 of an innings in a previous start. And he got rocked in that start. 4 hits, 6 earned runs. He walked 4 batters. His ERA is through the roof. It's 63, but not even through 1 innings pitched. It's worth bringing up, but not really worth putting much stock in, maybe, as he takes over here with 2 men on and Trustin Thomas, his first assignment out of the pen. Other changes for the Ole's. New to the game is number 7, Wyatt Krause. He took over for Clark at first, and I believe Spoon stayed in the game. He went out to the outfield. I believe he replaced the right fielder, Williams, and so I believe Spoon is going to be taking over in right field. I'm going to wait to confirm exactly which outfield spot he took over, but I believe that was the case. And so Clark finishing up his warm-up tosses. Already 1 run home in this inning for the Falcons. Came on the RBI single from P.J. Safford. He'll be aboard at first. Aboard at second is Jacoby Nickerson, who was hit by a pitch earlier this inning. And Trustin Thomas gets ready to step in now. Thomas today 0 for 2. He's flown out and grounded out in the second and fourth innings. But a chance here to try to add to the Falcons' 2-run advantage. And showing bunt, the pitcher steps off. As the corners came in to try to protect. Thomas trying to move these guys over. Still nobody out in the inning. Pitch on the way. Thomas shows bunt. Pops it up to the left side, and it's foul. Count is 0-1. Thomas needing to get that thing down a bit. Ty Teeters is due up next, and if the inning goes any further, Harley Hoblet is in the hole as Colden Clark takes over here in the top half of inning number 6. For what it's worth, Spoon would be on the hook for the loss if the lead holds for the Falcons. Clark trying to keep the Falcons' advantage right where it's at as he misses outside with the 0-1, and the count is even to Trustin Thomas. Taking a look at Thomas so far this season. He is batting .280 for the Falcons. Showing bunt again, and again Clark steps off. Out at second is Nickerson. He's not taking a particularly large lead, although they just continue to want to check on him with the runner showing bunt. I'm not exactly sure if Clark thinks he's going to wind up getting Nickerson, although he's thrown over there twice now and looked over 3 times. Comes set. Thomas shows bunt. The pitch is going to be a foul ball. And now there's 2 strikes on Thomas. The bunt is surely off. I think Thomas got lucky that time too, because he bunted it foul and then it came back and clipped his foot. And so if that had happened, I believe in a fair ball situation, he'd be out. But bailed out and swinging away with 2 strikes on him here in the top of the 6th inning of a 2-run ball game. Pitch is called a strike, and that one was gift-wrapped for Colden Clark on the outside part. 1 gone in the inning, and it brings up Ty Teeters. Teeters 0 for 2 today as well, as his dad down the third base side gives him some signs. Similar situation here. Might think about laying down a bunt, and the corner infielders know it. The first baseman, Krause, new to the ballgame, playing in front of the runner, but they don't have Teeters lay down a bunt. In fact, he's going to take that one up and in, 1-0. After Teeters in the order again, it's Harley Hoblet. Clark set. High leg kick, checks the runner at second. Now the pitch home is going to miss inside. That's the danger of eyeing down the runner at second before you deliver home. Sometimes that pitch home winds up a little bit wild. That time it almost hit Teeters. Clark with the 2-0. Now motions home. Teeters hits that one in the air to right, settles down for a single. They are going to wave Nickerson in, and the throw beats him. The throw down to third to try to get him in the back goes down the line. Nickerson is going to score, and getting the green light behind him is Safford. And so 2 runs come in to score, and the Falcons lead 4-0 on the error. So we're going to give Teeters the base hit, and then Nickerson and Safford both scoring on the error committed by the catcher Thurman. And that brings up Harley Hoblet. Runner at second is Teeters. And it brings up Harley Hoblet again, who's 0 for 1 today. He grounded out his last time up. Otherwise, he walked and scored in the third. Here's the pitch. Ground ball left side. Up with it is the shortstop Hartman. The throw to first is in time, but Teeters advances to third on the play. And that scoring play was... I'm curious if Nickerson missed a sign, if he ignored a sign. I don't know exactly what it was, but, I mean, Spoon had a great throw in from center field, and Nickerson wasn't even halfway down the line by the time the throw got home. But in an attempt to try to get him at third, Thurman then threw it away. So Sims, by the way, hit by a pitch in his first Well, his first look at Clark, so he's aboard. Runners at the corners, still 2 outs. Second hit batsman this half inning for the Falcons. Other one was Nickerson, who just came around to score. Here's Jacoby Takini with runners at the corners and 2 outs. 3 runs home this inning for the Falcons as they lead 4-0. Runner on the move. Sims breaks from first. He's going to get in standing with no throw down. That pitch was called a strike to Takini, but now he's batting with 2 men in scoring position and 2 outs. Takini 15 RBI this season, and that leads the group. That pitch, I believe, missed. 1-1. Set on the hill is Clark. The 1-1 is ripped down the third baseline, fair, and a base hit. 1 run score. Sims comes in as well as that one rolls all the way to the wall. Takini in with a standing double. 2 more RBIs, and the Falcons lead 6-0 in the top of the 6th inning. And in steps Ian Meyer. The Falcons have batted around here in this inning. By the way, replacing Takini at second, a courtesy runner, Max Rogers. Meyer today 1 for 2 and an RBI as well. Had an RBI single back in the 3rd inning. He was also hit by a pitch in the 1st and grounded out in the 5th. The pitch to Meyer, first pitch swinging, and that one is foul. Counts 0-1. I think that one bounced off of home plate after Meyer made contact. So foul ball for certain, and the count to E is 0-1. Shortstop Hartman trying to keep Rogers honest over there. Pretty sizable lead as the pitch is delivered home and called a strike. Goodness. Count is 0-2 to Ian Meyer. That pitch was about in the other batter's box. 0-2. Pitch from Clark is waved at and missed, and when the pitch is called a strikeout there, you got to protect, and Meyer goes down swinging in the 6th inning. But the Falcons score 5 in this half inning, and they take a 6-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th next on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Bottom half of the 6th inning coming up here. Hunter Glidden still on the bump for the Falcons, although some changes around the diamond as they lead 6-0. Let's reset the full Falcons defense for you here. Hunter Glidden pitching. Jacoby Takini still behind the dish. At third is Ian Meyer. Carson Sims still at short. Ty Teeters at second. Corbin Hamilton at first. Chase Barrett in left. Harley Hoblet in center. And Max Rogers in right. The pitch in is called a ball, I believe. Count is 1-0. We got a new hitter in the box as well. I don't think this is Colden Clark batting here for the Olies as that pitch misses wide, 2-0. Waiting for him to turn around. I can spot a number. Anyway. Here's the 2-0 coming up. That one is hit into the air, right side. Rogers going back. That is over his head, and 2 hops off the base of the wall. Rounded first and headed for second, and in there is Ryan Letsom. Hitting here in the spot of Colden Clark. I want to make sure I got that right there. Might be tough to read this handwriting. Yes, Ryan Letsom aboard at second. All right, Ben Thurman set to do up here. So leadoff double has the Ole's in business. Glidden delivers home. Curveball misses in. Oof. I think if Glidden threw that one on the outside, that amount of place off the plate would get him a strike, but not off the inside part, as Glidden falls behind 1-0. And here's the pitch. Line drive to short, gloved by Sims. He applies the tag to the base runner and got them both. 6 unassisted double play, and a great job by Sims. And there's 2 gone in the 6th. And just like that, the double wiped away. And it brings up, I believe, Jasper Spoon. We got timeout on the field. Oh, the player who was tagged out coming up limping here. We want to get him back to the dugout. And that's never anything that you want to see there. Batting here is Jasper Spoon. For Spoon today, he is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning, and he struck out in the 4th. And it looks like they're helping Letsom off the field. He makes it back to the dugout, which means we're about ready to play ball. I hope the best for him. Okay. First pitch to the Oak Ridge product is flared foul down the right side, and the count's 0-1. This will be, if you're curious, pitch number 79 for Hunter Glidden. And the pitch. Curveball finds the zone, and Hunter works ahead of the pitcher-turned-outfielder for the Ole's today. And here's the pitch. That one is called strike 3. Curveball caught the inside corner, and that is another strikeout for Glidden today, and he keeps the Ole's off the board as the Falcons lead 6-0, headed to the 7th next on mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Josh Eldridge back with you here, 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com. The Falcons lead 6-0. Let's go ahead and check the line score for each of these teams today as we bring it up for you, presented by Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance. 6 runs on 7 hits, 1 error today for the Falcons. For Eugene, no runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. New pitcher into the game for the Ole's is Ben Thurman. They'll have a new catcher, too, because Thurman was catching, although I can't quite make out who it is. His catcher's gear is like as big as a backpack across his back, so I have no chance at reading that number. Corbin Hamilton is going to foul the first pitch back into the glove of the catcher, and the count is 0-1. Looks like Letsom was listed as the incoming catcher, although he was injured in the last inning, and so I'm going to imagine that that's not him. It looks like Colden Clark has returned to first base after pitching the 1 inning. Count's 0-2 on Hamilton, by the way. And the pitch is going to miss outside. Count is 1-2. Is it perhaps Kraus moving from first to catching? I really don't have a chance to tell. 1-2. The count to Hamilton is going to miss outside 2-2. Our official scorebook, it's being kept. It says Kraus is the new catcher, so going to loosely agree with our official scoring today. The 2-2 on the way to Corbin Hamilton is a curveball that's swung on and missed, and that'll send him packing for the first out in the 7th inning. Here is Hunter Glidden hitting in the DH spot here. Glidden had a chance to swing the bat yesterday. Had a couple of base hits in that one. Good opportunity for him to swing it again today against Ben Thurman. Pitch is fouled straight back, and the count is 0-1. Take a look at the numbers yesterday for Hunter Glidden. Pitch on the way is ripped hard left field, but bending foul, and the count is 0-2. Glidden yesterday 2 for 4 in the game, and an RBI. He did strike out a couple of times, and a double in that game, as well as a run scored. 22-1 the win yesterday for the Falcons, their biggest offensive output of the season and in over a calendar year. Right now Glidden has 2 strikes on him. Pitch is waved at and missed, and there's 2 outs in the 7th. Thurman goes back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning. And this will bring up Chase Barrett. Barrett getting his first chance to swing today. Oh, man. Called a strike against Barrett. I have to chuckle at that one. I mean, if he's a left-handed hitter, he's walking to first base right now. Count is 0-1 to Chase Barrett. He hits that one hard deep to left. Moving over is the left fielder to make the catch, and the Falcons down in order in the 7th inning. It's time to stretch at Swede Johnson Stadium. So we'll be right back on 104.3, 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you're aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Getting set now for the bottom half of inning number 7 on 104.3, 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. It is 8-9-1 in the order for the Olies this half inning. I believe it's going to be Kraus, Vaughn, and Williams. That's going to be Kraus's first at-bat today. And by the way, Hunter Glidden staying in the game, even after entering as the DH in that last time up. So anyway, here is Kraus getting ready to bat here from the left side. We're talking about Wyatt Kraus, of course, as he gets his first look today against Hunter Glidden. The pitch is hit foul behind third base, and the count is 0-1. Taking a look at Kraus on the season for the Olies. Let's see. Here we go. Batting .222 on the season for Eugene. The 0-1 misses out. And the count is even to Kraus. He played an inning at first base. Pretty sure he's catching now. Here's the 1-1. That one misses up and away. 2-1. Glidden working here in the bottom of the 7th inning. This has got to be one of the longer outings of his career. Not the kind of guy who typically gave you a complete game at the high school level. And, well, you never play 9-inning games in high school, and so a chance to work even deeper today for Hunter if he can remain efficient. He falls behind the leadoff guy here, Kraus, 3-1. This is pitch number 85 coming up for Hunter. Here's the pitch. That one misses in. And a walk issued to Kraus. And I think with that being pitch number 85, or maybe that was 84. They show 85 here at the stadium. Let's see what our official scores have. That's probably a bit more accurate. So you might try to keep him eligible for an appearance down the line. Now they're going to say, boy, they're way off here. Our official scoring says that was pitch number 76 for Hunter. So it is now Colby Medeiros coming in for the Falcons. We'll step aside at the bottom of the 7th inning of a 6-run ball game on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
Josh Eldridge with you here on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com. Landon Vaughn is going to be Colby Medeiros' first task out of the bullpen. Colby entering the game today, making his 4th appearance of the season. It's his 2nd in relief. He's pitched 11 previous innings, has a 2-0 record. He's allowed 9 hits and a run, 9 Ks, and an ERA under 1 through his first 11 innings pitched this season. Runner aboard at first is Wyatt Kraus. Up to the box is Landon Vaughn. Vaughn 0 for 2 today. Grounded out in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th. First offering from Medeiros is fouled off. Counts 0-1. Hey, like I said, Medeiros in that cornhole tournament I talked about yesterday, the Falcons put on over at, I don't even know what you'd call this place, like a food truck central in Albany last night. Medeiros is going to get that one to miss outside, and it gets underneath the glove of Tacchini, allowing the runner to advance to 2nd. Into scoring position now in a 1-1 count. The rare passed ball from Tacchini moves the runner into scoring position, and it's 1-1. I said at the top of the broadcast, no shame to Medeiros, who is much more of a rule knower than a bag thrower when it came to cornhole in the tournament the Falcons were playing last night. But look, someone's got to know the rules. All right, that's why we have umpires. That's why we have referees. So that pitch finds the outside corner, 1-2. Medeiros, a much better thrower of the baseball than of the cornhole bag here as he works ahead of Landon Vaughn. The pitch is going to miss in. Count is 2-2. Started, looked like it was going to hit Vaughn, but it was a slider, just barely missed him. And the count is even to the number 9 hitter for the Olees. Here's the pitch. That one's a line drive to Sims. It's short. It short hops him. Ricochets over to Teeters, and Vaughn reaches. I'm going to imagine that'll be scored a base hit. Kraus stays at 2nd. That was hit to Sims. It short hopped him and then ricocheted off his wrist. It was a really hard struck ball. And so it brings up Williams. They do score that a single for Vaughn. 2 men on. And runners at first and second for the top of the order, it's Rowdy Williams. Williams, I believe the team's leading hitter for the Ole's. Going to confirm that here in a moment after the first pitch to Medeiros. This time Williams, though, lays down a bunt. Medeiros comes off the hill to throw to first. To Teeters covering is in time, but Williams does his job. The team's best hitter lays down a bunt and moves guys over. Does his job as here comes Zach Hermanson. Golden opportunity for the Ole's to add their first run of the ball game as the Falcons lead 6-0 in the bottom half of the 7th inning here from Swede Johnson Stadium. The pitch on the way from Medeiros. A curveball drops in for a strike, 0-1. Hermanson today is 1 for 2. He's flown out, been hit by a pitch, and singled so far in this game. Medeiros set. And here's the pitch. That one misses low. Count is even at a ball and a strike. First base is open, and Coda Skinner is due up next for the Ole's. Medeiros checks on the runner at second. No one there holding him as he motions home. That pitch dips below the zone, probably outside as well. 2-1 the count to Hermanson. 273 hitter for the Ole's this season. 3 RBIs on the year for him as well. As you approach the late stages of the ball game, any runs help try to chip away at that lead that the Falcons right now stand at 6. Here's a fly ball, left center field. Hoblet is going to make the catch on the run. Tagging to score is Krause. Tagging to third is Vaughn. So a sacrifice fly gives the Ole's their first run of the ball game. It's now 6-1. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Runner at third for Coda Skinner. Skinner has flown out and grounded out today, along with being hit by a pitch in the 5th inning. Medeiros set. And the pitch is going to be away, 1-0. That run, by the way, that comes home was the responsibility of Hunter Glidden, so that'll count against him. Medeiros, the first runner that he allowed on was Landon Vaughn, who now stands at third. 2 outs in the inning and a 1-0 count, and a bouncer towards Teeters at second. Took his time to play that one, comes up with it. The throw on to first is in time, and a run comes across for the Ole's in the 7th on one base hit, and they leave a man stranded. It's 6-1 as we head to the 8th on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Rob, why do you think so many families choose Subaru here?
Because they're built for real life here in Southern Oregon.
All-wheel drive, safety, and room for everything from kids to camping gear.
And we've got Subarus in stock, ready to go when you are.
Plus, we're locally owned and deeply involved in the community.
When you buy from us, you buy from a dealership that supports Klamath Falls. Stop by and say hi.
Friendly, local, and easy to work with. That's us at Klamath Falls Subaru, right on Washburn Way.
Top of the 8th inning, and the Klamath Falls Falcons lead the Eugene Ole Athletics 6-1. Due up this half inning for the Falcons is going to be Max Rogers, Ty Teeters, and Harley Hoblet. I believe I believe that Rogers is going to take this opening at bat here. Yep, there's the number 20 in the on-deck circle. He did come in to replace Trustin Thomas on the defensive end, although always want to wait to confirm that he's also going to be batting in the same spot. Thomas exits the game, by the way, after going 0 for 3. Fly out, ground out, strikeout. Rogers stepping in now. Max is batting .308 on the season for the Falcons. getting his first chance against Ben Thurman. Rogers yesterday in the win against Philomath was 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs and a double. First pitch to him misses outside there, 1-1. I think Rogers' most impressive performance this season has been his one pitching outing. Pitched 5 innings in a win against Grants Pass to kick off this road trip a couple of days ago on the 22nd. The 1-0 called a strike, 1-1. Rogers worked 5 innings, allowed just 1 hit, struck out 4 batters. And like I said, he got the win there. And I expected Rogers to throw a bit this season for the Falcons. I'll be honest, I didn't expect him to look so comfortable in his first outing of the season, more than a month removed of his last prep game. And so really impressed me there. And right now he's got 2 strikes on him, leading off the top of the 8th inning. Set on the mound is Ben Thurman. And the pitch is swung on and missed. It was in the dirt. Throw down to first, and he is out. The first baseman controlled it, and he did have his foot on the bag. It was kind of wait and see for a moment, but the umpire makes it clear. Rogers is out, and it brings up Ty Teeters. Teeters today is 1 for 3, but a 2 RBI single his last time up helped the Falcons in their big 5-run 6th inning. As Teeters digs in here, his first look at Ben Thurman, and it's a ground ball foul. The count is 0-1. After Teeters in the order, it is Harley Hoblet. The 0-1 home is a curveball that's bounced to the left side foul. Count is 1-1. Pardon me. Count is 0-2. Apologies there. As Teeters is going to have to protect here against Thurman. The pitch in. That one is looked at for a ball off the plate away. Now the count's 1-2. Some groans from the Eugene fans there. They thought that pitch probably should have been called strike 3, and it has been called strike 3 a few times. I can't really blame them there. But Teeters gets a break. The 1-2, flared foul off to the right side. Count remains. Ty, one of the few guys who on the defensive end stayed on as part of that last defensive swap for the Falcons. Started the game at second base. He's still out there. Haven't seen him play anywhere else on the defensive end this summer. And curious to see if Ty maybe gets a bit more work on the mound this season, maybe this road trip, maybe even tomorrow or Friday, because he's only thrown 1 time this year, but he threw quite a bit for the Henley Hornets in the prep season. Pitch misses outside to Teeters. Turned into a good at-bat here for Ty after falling behind 0-2. He's worked it even, 2-2, and fought off a couple of pitches in the meantime. Set on the hill is Thurman. And the pitch is called strike 3, knee-high on the inside corner. Teeters down looking. There's 2 outs in the 8th. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ben Thurman. By the way, 4 already for him since coming in last inning. And here comes Harley Hoblet, 0 for 2 today. Harley has grounded out in each of his last 2 times up. But he also walked and came in to score back in the 3rd inning as he watches a pitch miss low and away there. Count is 1-0 to Harley. Back to the top next for the Falcons. Carson Sims due up next. The 1-0 misses outside, and the count is 2-0 to Hoblet. Harley batting .450 this season. Pitch. Oh, called a strike. Oh, brother. 2 balls and a strike to Harley. Here it comes. That one, a bouncer towards the left side. Up with it is the third baseman, Skinner. Strong throw, got Hoblet. And the Falcons down in order for the 2nd consecutive inning. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th in a 6-1 ball game on 104.3, 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Over the last year, you've heard and seen the advertisement for God's Gifts Too, a local photographer who travels to high school sporting events and takes individual and team action photos at a great price. Something you may not know, though, is that the money from God's Gifts Photography supports 6 children in Kenya who Annalisa has met on mission trips. If you'd like to capture your athlete in action and help support these kids, call 541-281-2206. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook.
Looking for insurance from someone who truly understands rural Klamath? Meet Gabby Haskins, a licensed agent for Country Financial, born and raised in Merrill, with deep roots in agriculture and the local way of life. Whether you're protecting your family farm, homes, vehicles, businesses, Gabby's here to help. She offers trusted, personalized insurance for farm, life, home, auto, commercial, and retirement needs at Gary Sheen's Country Financial office in Merrill. Stop by today and see why Merrill residents trust one of their own. Country Financial, here to help you experience more in Merrill.
Bottom of the 8th inning, and it is 4, 5, and 6 in the Ole's order, due up this half inning against Colby Medeiros as he gets ready for his second inning in relief, taking over for Hunter Glidden. Let's go ahead and check on the final line score for Hunter Glidden today. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 error, 1 earned run. He walked 2 and fanned 7. Medeiros has worked 1 inning in relief so far today. And he is facing Colton Hartman to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-1 the score. Falcons lead the Ole's. Hartman today 0 for 2. He's walked, struck out, and flown out so far in 3 plate appearances. First pitch from Medeiros uses the 2-seam to work ahead. 0-1. Colton Hartman on the season for the Ole's. Hold on just a moment. That pitch is called a ball. 1-1. Hartman hitting .393, the team's 3rd leading hitter this season. He's got the most hits, though. 11 hits, 9 singles, 2 doubles, 7 RBI, tied for second most on the team, but he falls behind here. A ball and 2 strikes. And here comes Medeiros. That one is hit foul. Count stays, a ball and 2 strikes. See where Medeiros goes here against the righty. From the windup, Colby delivers, and that one again flared foul. That one makes it actually into the stands. There's netting pretty much all the way around here at Swede Johnson Stadium, and stadium seating, it's kind of like a bowl, full stadium setup. I really like coming here and calling a baseball game. A lot of fans in attendance for a single-A Legion team as well. It's good to see. The 1-2 pitch is hit high, deep to right field, but certainly foul. And the count remains 1-2. Especially if you sit down this first base side, the sun sets behind the stadium, so you get shade pretty much as the whole game goes along. It's a great place to watch a baseball game. The 1-2 home is going to miss upstairs, 2-2. This is the kind of facility that you think could certainly host state championship level baseball, whether it's a prep state championship game, the 2-2, although you like to play those games at the big stadiums, right? Have that giant feel, whether you play at PK Park or you play at Kaiser Volcano Stadium. Those are just mainstays. But, even then, like a Legion State tournament, heck, the single-A tournament could certainly be held here. In fact, I think it was a few years ago. I might be wrong about that. The AAA tournament could certainly be held here, too. The Challengers are a routine mainstay in the AAA tournament as well. The 2-2 to Hartman. It's fouled off again. Count remains 2-2. I'd go so far as to say you could host a regional at this place as well. Not trying to toss around any negative feelings, but seeing where the Falcons went last year to Burley, Idaho, which was a great facility, certainly well kept. This place has a little bit more seating and has the full stadium setup. You're not talking about bleachers. If they wanted to, you could certainly host something like that here. It's a fantastic facility at North Eugene High School. 3-2 to Colton Hartman, and the pitch from Medeiros is looked at for strike 3. Rung him up on the outside pitch, and that time the outside pitch comes back to bite the Ole's. And nobody thrilled about that call except for the Falcons fans, who felt like that's been going against them all afternoon. 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning, and it brings up Colden Clark. Clark is 1 for 2 today. He singled in the second and grounded out in the fourth. He swings and misses at strike one. In the sixth inning, he was replaced by Letcham, who exited the game with an injury, so Clark returned. And he falls behind him at Medeiros 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is right down the middle. 0-2. Boy, that pitch, you don't see a good pitch like that for a whole game sometimes, but he let that one go for strike two. Pitch from Medeiros is going to miss upstairs. Clark thought about chasing that one up, but decides to lay off. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the offering from Medeiros. That one rung him up, let her high heater, and Medeiros gets a second strikeout looking to start the 8th inning. And now we've got Ben Thurman. Started the game as the catcher. He has since taken over the pitching duties for the Ole's. Thurman today, though, at the plate, 0 for 3. A couple of flyouts and a strikeout today as he takes ball one away, maybe a touch up. 1-0 as Medeiros falls behind. After Thurman is Jasper Spoon. The 1-0. Lifted left side of the infield, playable. Meyer calls everybody off. The third baseman tucks it away, and the Ole's down 1-2-3 in the 8th. To the 9th we go, and the Falcons lead 6-1 on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Getting set for the 9th inning, and the Klamath Falls Falcons lead 6-1 against the Eugene Ole Athletics. Due up this half for the Falcons, the top of their order: Carson Sims, Jacoby Tacchini, and Ian Meyer. It's still Ben Thurman out there working for the Ole's. We'll try to take a look at the season for him, or pardon me, the game so far for him, as I believe he took over a couple innings ago. Let's take a look for certain. As Sims digs in, Thurman working his third inning in relief. He's allowed 2 hits and 2 earned runs. Sims belts one to center field, but playable for the center fielder Vaughn, and he makes the catch, and there's 1 out in the inning. So now it's Jacoby Tacchini who steps in for the Falcons with 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. Tacchini so far today has grounded out twice. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th, and he doubled in 2 runs in the 6th. The team leader in RBIs bats here with 1 gone, and the base is empty. Thurman working out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Tacchini chops one over to third. Short hop Skinner has trouble with it. The throw is not going to be in time, and Tacchini reaches on that one, and it brings up Ian Meyer.
Doing all right. My place is over there. What's that? My place is over there by the air conditioner. Oh, I know that, but I didn't know who else was going to be up here. I didn't know either. You were all alone, huh? All day. That sucks. I didn't know this was a night of the Yeah, well, it's nice you get to come up here.
Ian Meyer, first pitch swinging, fly to the right side foul, and the count to Ian Meyer is 0-1. I believe they're going to charge that in E6 on that last play, by the way, allowing Tacchini to reach. And he stays in the game. No courtesy runner for the Falcons catcher. And again, the 0-1 on the way to Ian Meyer. Off speed in the turf, skips away from the catcher. That's going to allow Takini to advance into scoring position. And the count's even, a ball and a strike to Meyer. Already a base hit earlier in the ball game. An RBI single came in the third inning. He was also hit by a pitch in the first to go along with 2 groundouts in the 5th and 6th innings. Thurman steps off ahead of the pitch. And he's back on the rubber. Again, Takini at second. The shortstop, Hartman, trying to keep him close. Second baseman Hermanson joins him over there. The pitch to Meyer is lined over the head of Hermanson and into right field, and that's going to continue to roll into the gap. Meyer looking for a double as Takini comes in to score. They trade places, and the Falcons lead 7-1. Brings up Corbin Hamilton for the Falcons. Give Meyer his second RBI of the day. And what's been a good summer for Meyer just keeps on getting better. That is RBI number 16 for him on the season. By the way, he overtakes Takini and the team lead in that statistic as the pitch to Hamilton misses upstairs 1-0. And also for Ian, a team-high 26 hits now. And the next best is the guy in the box right now. He's got 15. Hamilton hits one hard, deep to right field. That one's over the head of the outfielder. One hops the wall. Going to be extra bases for Hamilton, though. He's not stopping at second. Digging for 3 and an RBI triple for Corbin Hamilton. And the Falcons lead 8-1. For Hamilton, second triple of the season. RBI number 8 on the year. And in steps Colby Medeiros, getting a chance to swing here in the pitcher's spot. Took over a couple of innings ago and getting his first at-bat here. Batting .667 on the year, although he's only 2 for 3. Small sample size, but he'd like to keep that up and try to drive in another run. Count to him is 1-0 after he watches one miss up and away. Primarily used as a pitcher is Medeiros, but good to see him getting some at-bats in this long road trip for the Falcons. The 1-0 bounced up the middle. That's going to be by the shortstop and into center field. Hamilton comes in and scores, and the Falcons lead 9-1. And an RBI and a single for Medeiros. His third RBI of the season, his third hit of the season, and he's now batting .750. And he gets replaced on the base paths by Mason Snell. Just a courtesy runner there for Medeiros, although Snell could throw if they decide to replace him. But Medeiros throwing well for his own part, going to try to close out the ball game, I think, in the bottom half. As the first pitch to Chase Barrett misses upstairs, and the count to him is 1-0. Barrett has flown out in his only plate appearance so far today. He replaced P.J. Safford, batting in the 6 hole, who finished 2 for 3 himself with an RBI. Barrett is going to swing over the top of an inside pitch, and the count is even, 1-1. Barrett on the season for the Falcons, batting .200. Here's the 1-1. That one is lifted, foul territory to the right side. A lot of room to deal with, though, in foul territory here at Gary Selby Field, and I believe, did that go out of play? Yes, it did. And so Barrett behind in the count 1-2. And for Chase, by the way, a 200 hitter, he pulls up the last place spot in team hitting, but I mean, when your quote-unquote worst hitter is still batting .200, that's something to be proud of. Is a team that hits .380 for the Falcons, not bad at all. The 1-2, grounder towards the right side. It is knocked down by Hermanson, but no play to be made. And 4 consecutive base hits for the Falcons. Keep them rolling here for Max Rogers. Rogers 0 for 1 in this ball game. He struck out in the 8th inning. On the season, though, Rogers batting .308. 3 singles, a double, 5 RBI for him this year. Taken over in right field for Trustin Thomas earlier in the contest, who exited after going 0 for 3. Pitch to Rogers is taken for a strike. The fastball letter high, and he falls behind. After Rogers in the order is the Falcons' second baseman, Ty Teeters. There's one out, top of the 9th inning, and the Falcons lead 9-1. Rogers hits one hard, deep to left center field. That one is going to one-hop the wall and certainly be extra bases for Rogers. 1 run comes in to score. They wave Barrett all the way in from first. The throw is late as he dives in safely. And the Falcons now lead by 10 after the 2 RBI double for Max Rogers. Good throw in from the outfield there, but good speed as well for Chase Barrett to come all the way in and score as the Falcons have tallied 5 more runs here in the 9th inning. And quick conference on the mound between the catcher and the pitcher, Thurman, before the at-bat to Teeters. The first out was recorded by the first hitter this inning. Sims flew out to center field. After that, Takini reached on an error. Meyer, Hamilton, Glidden, Barrett, and Rogers have all reached on base hits. Here's a grounder sent out towards second. Hermanson up with it this time. The throw to get Teeters is in time. Nearly mishandled by the first baseman, but he does hang on to it. And this will bring up Mason Snell. By the way, Rogers advancing to third on that ground out now with 2 outs for Snell's first chance of the afternoon. Thought he might come in as a pitching replacement after he was used as a courtesy runner a while ago, but instead, probably going to replace Hoblet in center field in the bottom half of the 9th as that pitch misses upstairs to Snell. Count is 1-0. Snell batting .231 to start the year for Klamath Falls. 3 RBIs, 6 runs scored as well. All of his hits this season have been singles. That one bounces to the plate. 2-0 to Snell. We go back up to the top next with Carson Sims on deck as the Falcons have batted around for the second time today. 2-0 from Thurman. That one is hit foul on the first base side. And the count is 2-1 here to Snell. The Mazama product digs back in. Runner at third is Max Rogers. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Weakly hit into center field, but enough for a base hit and an RBI as Snell reaches, and the score is 12-1 Falcons in the top of the 9th. And now in steps Carson Sims for the second time this inning. Sims today is 1 for 4. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th and scored. He also singled in the 3rd. Otherwise, he's flown out 3 times. Here he reaches for the curveball away, fouls it off, and the count is 0-1 to Carson. And after Sims in the order is the Falcons catcher, Jacoby Takini. Small lead off of first for Snell. Although with good wheels, he doesn't need much. The pitch to Sims is a curveball that dips below the zone and probably a touch outside, 1-1. Carson on the season, batting .333 for the Falcons. He is tied for second most runs scored on the team with 16. Here he bounces one through the middle of the infield, and the Falcons just keep right on rolling here in the 9th inning. Another base hit. Doesn't score any runs this time, but it does advance Snell into scoring position for Jacoby Takini. Takini, again, reached on an error. He was courtesy ran for earlier in the inning, and that run came in to score. Otherwise, he doubled in 2 runs in the 6th inning and has grounded out twice so far. That pitch misses upstairs to Takini, 1-0 on the season for Jacoby. A .286 hitter coming into today, and his 16 RBIs is second most on the team. Here's the pitch. That one misses upstairs as well, 2-0. Falcons have scored 6 in this inning to go along with 5 in the 6th and 1 in the 3rd. 12-1 the score. Here's the pitch. That one is ripped down the line, fair, and probably extra bases for Takini. So they wave in Snell. Sims is going to be waved in as well. Takini pulls up at second, and a 2 RBI double. The Falcons lead 14-1. Keep racking up the RBIs for Takini as well. I believe that has him reclaim the team lead in that metric, now up to 18 RBIs on the season. Yeah, that pushes him ahead of Meyer, who is going to try to reclaim that spot now as he steps in. Already had an RBI double earlier in the inning, and he came around to score earlier this frame. Pitch on the way to Meyer is taken for a strike. Count is 0-1. To go along with the 8 runs the Falcons have scored this inning, they've also collected 6 hits. Sort of reminiscent of what happened often yesterday in the Falcons' 22-1 win against Philomath. Although credit to the Eugene pitching staff, they've mostly kept the Falcons quiet, save for the 7th and this 9th inning where it seems like the wheels have sort of come off. But Falcons just continue to swing the bat well. The 1-1 is going to miss outside, 2-1. But scoring in bunches, that's kind of been the deal for the Falcons this season. Not steady scoring across the game, but you're going to get 5, 6, 7 run innings once or twice out of them per ball game, and that's how they've been able to put together a lot of these wins. 2-1, line drive to second, gloved by Hermanson, and that finally puts an end to the 9th for Eugene. We got the last of the 9th due up in a 13-run ball game on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Here to start the bottom of the 9th inning, already in progress. It is going to be 7-8-9 for Eugene due up in the bottom of the 9th, a 14-1 ball game. Medeiros works ahead 0-1, now 0-2 against Jasper Spoon, who's 0-2 in the ball game. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Since then, he struck out a pair of times. And now behind Medeiros 0-2 and looks at a ball, just misses outside. 1-2, the count to Spoon. Jasper started the game on the hill for the Olees as he hits one in the air into foul territory. Hamilton gives chase but is unable to track that one down. The count remains 1-2. Now Spoon did work 5 innings in his start, so he would be on the hook for the loss today should the Falcons' wide advantage maintain in place. 14-1 our score. Spoon pitched 5 innings today, gave up 5 hits and 4 runs. Sends one out towards the right side. It's underneath the glove of Teeters and into right field. A leadoff single for Spoon. And Eugene not going to go down without a fight here in the bottom of the 9th inning. This brings up, I believe, Wyatt Krause. Yeah, Krause digging into the left-handed batter's box here. He walked and came in to score in the 7th inning, what is so far Eugene's only run of the ball game. Scored on a sacrifice fly in that 7th inning. Medeiros takes a look at the runner at first and motions home. Gets a swinging strike 1 on the outside pitch to Krause. Krause came in and played a little bit of first base, but I believe now he's catching for Eugene as he swings and misses at the inside pitch, 0-2. So Medeiros goes outside with the fastball, inside with the fastball, and can do just about whatever he wants here, up 0-2 against Krause. Comes set. Hardly looks at the runner at first and now goes home. Goes up and away with the fastball. Trying to change the eye level of Krause a little bit. The count's 1-2. Due up next for Eugene, I believe, is Landon Vaughn. No, pardon me, we've got a pinch hitter due up next. We'll get you when we get there. Counts now 2-2 at the plate as another 2-seamer misses away to Krause. I think it is Chuck Binstadt due up next for Eugene. And the 2-2 is swung on and missed. The heater up, got Krause to chase. And there's one out in the 9th inning. And here is Binstead. Bats in place of Landon Vaughn, who exited the game after going 1 for 3 today. A ground out in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th, and a single in the 7th. First pitch misses wide, 1-0. Back to the top of the order next for Eugene. Rowdy Williams on deck. The pitch is going to dip away, 2-0. Taking a look at Binstead on the season. 1 for his first 8 to start the year. That's 125 on the average. Madero's set, and the pitch is lifted foul behind home plate. Count is 2-1. Talked a lot about what's coming up next for the Falcons. Coming up next for the Olies after today, no rest. Tomorrow, a doubleheader against Roseburg starts at 5 o'clock. The Roseburg Pepsi. The 2-1 pitch is called a strike. 2-2. That outside pitch coming back to help the Falcons. After that on Tuesday, they have the rest of the weekend off. Then on Tuesday, they are playing the South Umpqua Varsity Lancers Summer League Baseball program. They play a noon doubleheader on Tuesday next week, and then weekend of the 4th of July, I believe they are playing in the Papa's Pizza Tournament here at Swede Johnson Stadium as Vaughn goes down on strikes for the second out in the 9th inning. And Rowdy Williams due up now as the Olies down to their final out of the afternoon. Takini gets the sign in from Coach Connor in the dugout, relays it to Medeiros. And now the pitch, a two-seam fastball starts away from the righty, but leaks back over the plate, 0-1. As Medeiros works ahead, Zach Hermanson is due up next if we get there with 2 outs in the 9th. The 0-1 fouled straight back, and the Olies down to their final strike of the afternoon. Spoon, a modest lead off of first. Not terribly aggressive. As all eyes focus on the plate, the 0-2 swung on and missed, and that is the ball game. The Klamath Falls Falcons win streak stretched to 8 as they dispatch the Olies 14-1 on the road. We'll be back in 2 minutes' time to recap this one for you and get you set up for an early doubleheader tomorrow in Salem on 104.3 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
You know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
14-1, the final score. The Klamath Falls Falcons defeat the Eugene Athletics. For the Falcons today, 14 runs comes on 15 hits. They commit 1 error. The Ole's have 1 run on 5 hits. They commit 3 errors. The winning pitcher tonight for the Falcons, Hunter Glidden, who worked 6 innings tonight, gave up 3 hits, a run. He struck out 7 batters. The losing pitcher, Jasper Spoon, worked 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, and struck out 1 batter. Some notables tonight for the Falcons. Let's see, 2 for 5 night for Carson Sims with 2 runs scored. Jacoby Takini knocked in 4 runs. He's our Abby's legendary pizza player of the game. 2 for 5, 4 RBIs for Takini, and 2 doubles. He stuffed the stat sheet tonight. Ian Meyer was 2 for 5, couple of RBIs. 1 for 4 day for Corbin Hamilton, an RBI. Colby Madero's been 1 for 1 with an RBI, and Max Rogers added 2 RBIs on a 1 for 2 day with a double. With this win, the Klamath Falls Falcons improved to 12-1 on the season. The Ole's fall to 4-7 on the season. Want to remind you the schedule change that's coming tomorrow for the Falcons. Initially scheduled to play in Salem tomorrow at noon. A doubleheader has been moved to 9 a.m. in Salem tomorrow morning. And then again, that game against Roseburg on Friday has shifted from 5 o'clock to 1 o'clock at Champion Car Wash Field there. Otherwise, that about does it for us tonight here on 104.3 and 960 Sports. By the way, Medeiros, for his work, despite it being a 14-1 ball game, does get a save for his efforts in this one, having taken over when the game was still 1-0. So a 14-1 win for the Falcons. Again, they extend their winning streak to 8 games today, and a doubleheader in Salem bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So we'll be with you there on 104.3 and 960 Sports. A couple of schedule changes won't scare us. You can also watch it for free right here on mybasin.com. I want to thank everybody involved with making today's broadcast possible. And we'll start with both of our head coaches today. For the Klamath Falls Falcons, Mr. Sean Teeters. For the Eugene Athletics, KJ Strickland. Also, thanks to our official scorer today. I believe it was Rob Sims. And thanks to you for joining us for another edition of Falcons Baseball. Again, back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. But until then, my name is Josh Eldridge. Thanks again for joining us. So long and good night from Swede Johnson Stadium at North Eugene High School.